Did you guys get your 5 stocks from Moomoo yet? If not, use my link down below. Deposit at least $100 and you could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. It's free money, guys. Who doesn't like free money? Again, use that link down below to get your stocks. And now let's talk about the markets, earnings, what I'm doing in these markets, and we're going to break down a bunch of stocks and charts. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your good old coffee, and let's get right into the video. So it's currently about 4:50. Markets closed about an hour ago, and we have a lot of earnings to break down in this video. And we had the Dow Jones, and by the way, all these indexes, they got crushed today, guys. The Dow went down 1.8%. The Russell went down almost 2%. The NASDAQ went down 1.6%. As we had the S&P roughly down the same as the NASDAQ, down 1.6%. And we had the VIX up over 10%, gold up 2.5%, and silver up almost 5%. And just looking at that, I mean, looking at the VIX up a bunch, silver and gold up a bunch, you know there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and we did break that down in my earlier video, so go make sure to check that out if you want more of an insight on gold, silver, and the VIX. And judging here on SPY, guys, really nothing has changed from my previous video. I mean, we're still in a downtrend on the 20-day chart. We're under both moving averages. In fact, we closed under both moving averages on this time frame, and it looks like the little rally we saw Thursday, Friday last week into yesterday, rather, I said tomorrow. The rally we saw yesterday as well, a little bit of a pop, right? It looks like that ended up being a bull trap, and we hit a clear resistance at 440. Now we're dumping almost under 430, and it looks like the lower high is in, and we got a huge leg down today. And the question is whether or not this leg down is going to continue. Are we going to dump under 425, 420? Are we going to go back to test the lows from last week being around 410? That is the $1 million question, right? And I believe with everything going on right now, as we're getting closer and closer to the Fed meeting, interest rate, it's going to go up, tapering, Russia, Ukraine. I think there is a chance we do go back to test the lows. Maybe we even take those lows out. Same thing with Triple Q. I mean, you guys know my thoughts here. The downtrend is still intact. We failed breaking out of 350 to 355, which could have been a spot where the markets reversed, right? But again, we failed at that point, and this closed under not both moving averages like SPY, but it did close under the 50 moving average, and it looks like we took the lows out, not from last week. Last week's lows were 317. We're not really close to those lows yet, but we did take the lows out. If you take a look on this 5-day chart from yesterday, the lows from yesterday were around 341. At least the intraday lows were about 341. And if you guys take a look on this intraday chart today, we got down to about 338 right before close, and then we saw a huge V-shaped recovery. I mean, these markets are freaking unpredictable, so volatile. Look at this. When Power Hour started, Triple Q is at almost 344, and then we ended up going all the way down, like I said, to 338. So this thing lost about 1.4% heading into close, well, at least 10 minutes before close, and then 10 minutes before close, we recovered about 0.7% of that 1.4% loss. So these markets are extremely volatile. No wonder why the VIX is above now 33 points, which is nuts. So at this point in time for Triple Q, I would say on the downside, the main figure I'm looking at is around, I guess it's a range between 335 to 340. If we break under 335, we're probably going to go test the lows, maybe even take out the lows from last week being around $317 per share. And oil, I mean, geez, guys, we talked about oil in my previous video, but oil went up about, let's see here, if it wants to pop up. It was up 8% last time I checked. Oh my goodness, now oil's up 11%. Crude oil is up 11%. You can't even make this stuff up, guys. This is why the markets are unpredictable. Well, I guess we did predict that. I mean, I talked about oil over 100 a barrel many times months ago. I guess we did predict that. But overall, the price action, the volatility. These markets are insane. Jeez, I'm coughing up a storm here. So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment down below. What do you think about these markets? Are we going a lot lower from here? Are we going to miraculously break out, which the technicals are pointing to us going lower? So what do you guys think? Drop me a comment. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. It really helps me out. And if you guys want all my moves in the markets, buys, sells, call outs, all that good stuff, make sure to join my Patreon. Today's the best day to do it. It's the first of the month. You got the whole month to try it out. Use that link down below if you guys are interested. No pressure, of course, no pressure. So let's talk about some stocks now. And a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these companies reported earnings today. And you guys know how I like to do it, right? When we have companies reporting earnings and I make these videos right after market close, I like being surprised by the earnings. So let's see what ended up going down. We had SoFi report aftermarket about 30 minutes ago, and whoa, the stock's up a lot. Oh my goodness, look at that. It closed at 11.20, and on the day, SoFi went down a little bit over 2%. But now after market hours, this thing's above $13, so it's up almost $2 per share. After market hours, up 16%. So let's see what they're doing. Let's see what they did, rather. They did 15 cents in the red EPS versus negative 17 cents estimated. So they beat EPS and they barely beat revenue, but it looks like they beat nonetheless. 279.88 million versus 279.29 million estimated. So nice double beat for SoFi here. They see Q1 adjusted net revenue of 280 to 285 million versus 306 million estimated. So that is a good chunk under the estimate there. And they see full year 22 adjusted net revenue of 1.57 billion. That's probably it, versus 1.45. So the estimate for full year 22 adjusted net revenue is well above the estimate, which makes me believe that Q1, in the first quarter or two, maybe SoFi is not going to do as well for revenue, but then later in the latter half of the year, revenue is going to pick up because, again, that net revenue estimate for the full year is looking very good compared to the estimate. So that's why, for the most part, SoFi's got to be moving up almost 20% here in the aftermarket hours. It looks like they added members. We have a bank charter update and guidance, which I will be listening to this, the earnings call in a couple. I think the earnings call might be live right now. I mean, I'm probably going to have to listen to that after this video, maybe later tonight at some point. So SoFi is looking good. Double beat. Guidance for full year 22 revenue is looking pretty solid. And you guys know, especially if you're in my Patreon, you know that I was trading this a couple of months ago, in and out, and I haven't been in it recently. But now, it's breaking out. It's starting to push up above my $13 alert. We're above both moving averages here after market hours. So now if this breakout sustains itself, if we start going $13.50, $14, this could really start gaining momentum, and I might end up getting into it again. That's the truth. That's the bottom line. I might end up getting into it again as a trade, and as a long-term investment, I don't know. I'm not there yet, quite yet, with SoFi, but who knows? Maybe one day I will be, but as of now, I'm looking at it more as a short-term play. The next stock on the list is CRM, Salesforce.com. Let's see what they did today. They ended up closing at 208, ended up going down about 0.8% at close, and here after market hours, they're moving up. There you go. They're moving up. After initially dropping, look, they closed at 208. They tanked to about 200 a share. Now they're, and then they shot to 220. Now they're hovering at about 217. So they are up about 3.5–4% after market hours. So let's see what CRM ended up doing. They did 84 cents EPS versus 75 cents estimated. That beat. 7.33 billion in sales versus 7.24 billion. So nice double beat from Salesforce. And they see Q1 adjusted EPS of 93 to 94 cents versus 99 cents estimated. So that's a little bit under the estimate, but it seems like sales here 7.37 to about 7.38 billion versus 7.26 billion estimate. Seems like sales is above, the guidance is above the estimate, which is great. And it looks like full year 23 adjusted EPS is right in line with the estimate as well. So CRM, pretty nice quarter, double beat. They raised the sales guidance. You always like to see that. And let's see, anything else here important? Not really. Not really. Oh, it looks like they raised full year 23 revenue guidance to $32 billion at the high end of the range. So this stock is ripping. I mean, it's not going up as much as SoFi, not nearly as much as SoFi, but it still is up nonetheless about 3 to 4% here after market hours. And we have to break, you guys probably know, I've said this before a million times, we have to break this downtrend on the 4-hour chart. We are above the 50, but we're not above the 180 moving average quite yet, which we're fighting with it right now. If this thing breaks 220, 225, that is where real momentum could really start kicking in. So I'm going to put my alert at 225 on CRM right now. And look at this 3-year chart, guys. Look at this 3-year chart. You guys can see this pullback was very much needed from 311 down to the low 200s. We actually got down to 180. And now we're getting buyers stepping in around the 180 moving average on this 3-year chart, which is fantastic. It seems like the uptrend wants to continue. Now with these earnings that just came out, like I just read to you all, the earnings were solid. Maybe we do start breaking out from here, and this could end up being a pretty nice swing trade. So CRM, Salesforce, I'm liking it. Let's take a look at Dutch Bros, guys. They also reported here after market hours. The ticker is Bros, ticker symbol BROS. Pretty nice ticker symbol if you were to ask me. And it looks like the stock is down about $1.70 in the aftermarket hours. That's after going down 1.4% on the day. So they're down even more aftermarket here. So let's see exactly what they did. They did 2 cents in adjusted EPS, which is in line with the estimate. They did 140.1 million in sales versus 135 million estimated. So inline EPS, they beat sales, and they see full year adjusted EBITDA of 115 to 120 million dollars, sales of 700 to 715 million versus the 692 million estimate. So pretty nice. They beat sales. They guided up on sales for full year 22. And yeah, looks like the stock is unchanged. And I've mentioned this before when we recently covered Dutch Bros. This stock needs to break 50 to 52 bucks. That is a huge sticking point. As you all can see on the 4-hour chart, we're in this wedge. We're under the moving averages now. We're actually noticing the start of a death cross, which I'm not liking particularly here. But again, if we break 52, we break these moving averages. Maybe we start making a move towards 60, 62 bucks, which is literally where we were earlier this month of, well, I guess it's March 1st now. Happy March 1st, guys. But that's where we were earlier in February, right around 60 to 62 bucks a share. So I'm going to keep my alert at 52 bucks here on Dutch Bros. We'll see if they start moving up, maybe during the conference call or maybe at some point next week, or not next week, maybe later this week or tomorrow as the markets, digest the earnings. And that's one thing worth mentioning, right? A lot of the time stocks, you would think that they have to make a huge move once the earnings come out. And a lot of the time stocks do make big moves when earnings come out, but if they don't make a huge move in either direction right after the report, sometimes you just have to wait for the market to digest the earnings. Give it a day or two, guys. I mean, geez, have some patience, right? We all need to have some patience sometimes, some more than others, myself included, guys, of course, myself included. And if we give it a couple of days, it might pick direction. In fact, it probably will pick direction. So Dutch Bros, that's BROS. We also had JWM, Nordstrom report today, and oh my goodness, look at that, guys. Look at that. And this is one of those stocks, JWM, which it's just ridiculously volatile during earnings. I mean, look at the last 2 reports and the one that just came out, we'll talk about in a second. Last quarter, or rather, I guess not this report, the last report, right? JWN tanked. If you guys remember, I think it was down like 30% in a day. I mean, yeah, it tanked 30%. And the report before that, which came out in August, it also tanked about 20-25% in a couple of days. And I swear the one before that, the stock was up a lot. Let's see if I'm right. No, it looks like I'm wrong. It looks like it's just been tanking after every single report recently. But now history is not repeating itself because they just reported and the stock went from $19.50 at close, and mind you, it went down almost 6% on the day. Now it's up 37% after market hours. And if I pop up this live news tab, we all can see they beat EPS, they beat revenue. They did $1.23 EPS versus $1.02 estimated. Sales came in at $4.38 billion versus $4.35 billion estimated. So nice double beat. And they see full year 22 EPS of around $3.15 to $3.50. That's a pretty wide range, but that's what it is. And they expect sales growth of 5 to 7%. Not too bad. Mid to high single digits there year over year. Not too shabby. So the stock's ripping, guys. Double beat. Pretty nice upbeat guidance, I would say, or at least decent guidance. And it looks like I said, history is not repeating itself here, which goes to show just because something happened last report doesn't mean it's going to happen the next report. So we're ripping. We're obviously trading at a multi-month high right now for JWN. It's breaking out of $26, which was a big resistance. Now it's support. And the next big gap to fill is around, to about $30. If $30 were to break, maybe 35, 36 is up next. So JWN, pretty solid here. Nice report. Stock is on fire. We also had the infamous AMC report, and let's see what they did, guys. AMC went down 3% on the day, closed a little bit above $18 a share, and they just reported, let's see here, 11 cents in the red versus the negative 26-cent estimate, so they crushed EPS. Sales came in at $1.17 billion versus $1.09 billion, so it looks like they had a double beat, lost about $134 million in the quarter, which is nuts. They say, AMC says, bookings for new Batman movie. Who's in that Batman movie? The guy from Twilight. What the heck's that guy's name? I forget, but he's in the new, not the new Twilight movie, the new Batman movie. So that's probably going to be a good movie. I'm definitely going to see that. It says opening weekend is very strong. So we're, I didn't even realize that movie's coming out. I guess now this weekend, or maybe it already came out. Either way, that's what they're saying. They had a double beat, and the stock isn't really doing much. I mean, it's up about 50 to 60 cents after market hours, which is not that bad. And you guys can clearly see, I mean, this stock has been in a downtrend probably for a year at this point. Let me see here on the yearly chart. Yeah, pretty much, not a year, about, let's say, more like 8 months it's been downtrending, and it doesn't look like this earnings report that just came out is going to move the stock. So I want to see if it breaks out of this downtrend, right around, I think the breakout could occur at about $20 to $25. And who knows? I mean, do you guys still think there's going to be the mother of all short squeezes or whatever, MOAS or whatever the heck people called it, right? Do you think that's still going to happen? Honestly, I think that might be, I don't want to hurt your feelings, guys, but that might be a pipe dream at this point. The mother of all short squeezes might have already happened. I mean, look at this 3-year chart, guys. AMC went from $1.90 to $75. I mean, if that's not the mother of all short squeezes, then what the heck is at the end of the day? I mean, this thing went up hundreds of percentage points, like 5,000%. I mean, if that's not the mother of all short squeezes, please drop me a comment. Let me know what is. I mean, please drop me a comment. Let me know, guys. And again, let me put my alert before I forget, because I still track these meme stocks at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not taking them too seriously to the point where I'm going to dump a lot of money in, but I'm still watching them. So I'm going to put my alert at $21 for now for AMC. We're going to be keeping an eye on it. And the next one here is Costco, ticker symbol COST. Costco went up 0.7% today. And did I not mention to you guys, watch out for Costco. We have a wedge on the 4-hour chart. It was trading under both moving averages, but with today's 0.7% move, with earnings coming up, maybe people are getting excited. Target just reported they crushed it. Target went up a lot today. Now people are expecting, maybe Costco is going to go up a lot. With earnings coming up, I think in a week from now, let me double check. Actually, no, 2 days from now. 2 days from now. So that's right around the corner. This is now breaking out of the moving averages. It's above the wedge. Maybe if we take out the high from about 3 weeks ago, 530, this thing might end up flying. So I'm going to put my alert at 530 for Costco right now. And at that point, with good earnings, guidance, if that comes out and that's the case, this might be going 550, 570, very, very possible. So the last one here is British tobacco, British American tobacco. And you guys know a lot of these value stocks, high-paying dividend stocks, they've been doing very well throughout the course of 2022 and even in the end of 21. I mean, you guys can see BTI here went from $33 to $47. It ran up 40% in just a couple of months as people were transitioning, rotating out of growth into value. This stock went ballistic. Again, 40% to the upside. Now it's finally pulling back from 47 down to about 43. It's down 8%. And I want to see, are people going to respect this moving average? Are they going to be buying this dip right around 43, 44, where we are right now? If so, maybe we do get that pop. Maybe we do end up going back 45, 46, 47. So I'm watching that. And honestly, I mean, if we do break under 43 and crack under $40, we're probably going to bleed a little bit more under those moving averages. But as long as we hold above 43, 44, there could be more upside here on BTI. So what do you guys think? That's it for the video. Drop me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure to join my Patreon if you guys want to try it out. It's March 1st, the best time of the month to start out on Patreon, or at least to join it and try it out is the beginning of the month. So use that link down below, or you guys can go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon to join. You got all my buy, sells, call outs, option moves I'm making, everything I'm doing, morning videos, Discord, all that great stuff is on Patreon, link down below. And don't forget to get your 5 stocks from Moomoo, your good old 5 stocks from Moomoo. Deposit $100 and you could get up to 5 stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. That's linked down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.